What is up, guys? If you are listening to this, that means this is episode number 10 of the Nonsense Review Extra Credit Series. This is essentially a lost episode. We spent a long time recording this, and I was quite bothered when it, in fact, turned out to not seem to actually load properly when I went to edit. Rick may or may not have salvaged it. If you listen to it, then I assume he has. And yes, in a few seconds, you'll get to enjoy it. So, please ignore any reference to the fact that it's episode 102, because it's not canon anymore. Yes, see you on the other side, guys. What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 102 of the Nonsense Review. Hey, Rick, that rhymed.
It did indeed, haha.
So yes, I'm your host as always, Devon, and joining me equally as always is the aforementioned Rick.
Hello, everyone.
Today we are going to be watching an old school, I guess it's kind of a sitcom, we'll get more into it when we get into it. It's called Dinosaur, or Dinosaurs. Rick, how did I describe this show to you when I said we should do it?
The one with the terrifying rubber puppets.
I don't think I said terrifying, but yes, not far off. Yeah, I booted up this show, and the very first thing it says is in memory of Jim Henson, who without we wouldn't have been able to do this, and I was like, oh, now I have the big sad. I didn't know he worked on this.
It makes sense in hindsight, but yeah, neither did I. Like, as a kid, I wasn't that receptive as to like who was in what.
Yeah, I know, but like the Muppet Show had like Jim Henson's name on the title screen.
Yeah, and so did Fraggle Rock, I believe.
This show came out either a year before or on the year I was born. I watched it when I was like 8.
Yes.
But yeah, this is stuff we can talk about a little bit later. Sorry for taking a bit of a deviated route to how we normally do. How do we normally do things, Rick? Well, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Before we actually get into the bulk of the review, we like to talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the wide universe. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
Well, I finally finished Sonic Prime. I don't know why it took me this long. I think I was saving it for rainy days, and then a bunch of them happened all at once. So, I finished Sonic Prime. It's a good bit of fun. I would recommend. It does have massive Netflix-iters, but I think they've already, secured season. So, looking forward to that.
Well, I watched the first episode alongside you, and I've got to be honest with you. It threw out some interesting concepts, but I've had no real drive to watch it.
Sure. It felt like episode 1, 2, 3 were like a 3-parter, 4, 5, 6 were like a 3-parter, and then 7, 8 were finale.
That's kind of messed up because episode 1 itself is 2 episodes long.
Yeah. Another thing that I've seen, John Cusack, he's the guy who made Smiling Friends.
Yeah.
His other show has started, Crystal 2, YOLO Crystal Fantasy. And I've seen one episode of it so far, and it's the same kind of dumb bullshit that he normally does, for good or ill. Good. And yeah, you might enjoy it. It's basically a gender flip Smiling Friends.
I think he's also working on the Koala Man thing, but I don't know what the status of that is, what with Roiland and all the shit that he...
Yeah, apparently Roiland has just basically been dropped from Koala Man and everyone's just picking up the slack.
Okay, that's fine. I liked, I've forgotten the name of it, the fucking gay aliens.
Oh, Solar Opposites, yeah.
Yeah, I liked Solar Opposites, but Rick and Morty was shit after the second season. Well, not shit, but just not as good.
Well, it's one of those. I actually think that recent Rick and Morty is the best season they've had in a long time.
Oh, Rick and Morty where Roiland had the least amount of input.
Yeah, where all he was a voice. Potentially because of falling outs with Dan Harmon, and potentially because his life is falling around his ears. But yeah, I watched the Nintendo Direct. So this is mostly things that are happening in the outside world. A bunch of things got announced.
Just a bit of background information. I literally messaged Rick while I was at work at about, I don't know, it was like 8 o'clock because I was on my break. And I went, oh, fuck, there's a Nintendo Direct this evening. Oh, fuck, it starts exactly the time I clock off work and I need to get home, so I won't be able to watch it. So I just messaged Rick on Discord going, Rick, can you watch Ninty for me?
Yeah, so I did. And I was having some chats with a mutual friend while it was going on. The Japanese version also got another couple of games and another couple of announcements that the global Nintendo Direct didn't get. But
yeah, makes sense.
But yeah. So we start out with Pikmin 4. I was in a flat with people who were mad for Pikmin 1 and 2, and I, until recently, didn't even know that Pikmin 3 had been released.
I know nothing about Pikmin. I know Olimar because he's in Smash, and that's it.
Yeah, you pick these onion people and you chuck them at obstacles and they carry the obstacles off.
That's not vague. Alright, fair enough.
You have different coloured onion people, and then at night time, creatures kill you. Xenoblade 3 has another part of DLC. This is the third season pass that they have now launched, which I think is bullshit, because a season pass should be DLC, but I guess that's why they call it season pass and not full DLC pass.
That's fucking... No, I'm with you on that. well, Season Pass shouldn't be all DLC, but Season Pass should be, this is all the DLC for this year.
Yeah.
Minimum.
It might be one of those that they're doing multiple season passes because they're having multiple, actual seasons of DLC, but it does feel like a massive cash gouge. Samba de Amigo, it was a Sega game that had maracas as controllers. Maracas.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you can already tell how the fuck this is going to play then. It's obviously going to be the Joy-Cons. I will tell you this though, Rick, I do miss the days of yore where every single gimmick game had its own gimmick controller.
Donkey Konga! Yeah.
That's it. I mean, I think the obvious one to point to is Guitar Hero, because that's probably the most popular, but even before that, you had racing games where, yeah, you can play it with your normal bullshit kiddie controller, or you could pay us £100 and get this deluxe setup and feel like you're driving a real car, and it actually controls much, much worse because of it.
Yes, it's way worse. When I was young and didn't have a license and didn't want to take driving lessons, part of my reasoning was I can control things a lot better with a control pad. Well,
didn't they do an experiment once on Top Gear where they had an experimental car that controlled with a controller while in the driver's seat, and it turns out it's a really bad fucking idea.
Yeah. The reason that I was leery about it was I had played driving video games with a video game wheel, and probably not even an expensive one because, it came free with my PC, and didn't have a good time with it. So, okay, that tainted my ability to drive for quite some time. It took about another 10 years for me to give it a go.
Fair.
Dead Cells is getting Castlevania DLC.
I saw this, and I've never played Dead Cells, but I saw the trailer for it, and I went, oh wow, Castlevania looks really good in this art style.
It does. It might make me pick it up on my phone. We have a Tron game, Tron Identity.
Yeah, this is weird, because I swear we were bitching about Tron the other week.
Yeah, we independently bitched about Tron. Yeah, we were chatting about Tron last week, and now there's a game, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
Next one is Ghost Trick. This was something that came out on the DS like 15, 20 years ago. It was really fun at the time.
Is this a visual novel type thing?
So it's kind of.
I only asked because I think I played it.
It's a puzzle with plot.
Okay, no, I probably didn't play this then.
If you play everything correctly, then the girl that you're protecting just blunders through life while everything just falls to shit around her, and she survives somehow. But the way that you do this is by possessing objects and getting mafia guys to kill themselves.
Oh, okay, so it's Death Note.
Kind of. But yeah, you are a ghost, and the trick that the ghost can do is possess things.
Yeah.
I think this is a remaster or a remake. I don't think it's a sequel.
If it's named the exact same thing, then it would be confusing if it was.
Yeah. The Splatoon 3 expansion pass got announced. Part 1 is Inkopolis from Splatoon 1 and the Bow, and Wave 2 later in the year, it seems to be an Octoling side story.
Yeah, I've got to be honest with you, I thought I fell off Splatoon pretty hard. So, good for Splatoon fans, but I don't care.
So, Disney Illusion Island is either a 2D Disney Mario or maybe a Disney Rayman. It has 4-player multiplayer. It looks both very kiddie and also very fun if you have a younger family member to play it with.
Well, I'll tell you this, I actually bothered to watch the trailer for this because the name of it was like, it captivated me. So I looked at the trailer. It is definitely Rayman, OG Rayman, 2D Rayman. The art style is incredibly charming.
Yeah, you've got ground pound and everything.
I saw Minnie Mouse do the ground pound, and all I could hear was Amelia saying she'll ground pound your mother.
Nothing beats a ground pound.
Just imagine Minnie Mouse saying that.
But yes, we get the Fire Emblem DLC. It wasn't announced because we've already got the DLC started, but they announced what the next bits are going to be. Hector, Soren, and Camilla are available now.
Well, all three of them are available now. I thought just Hector dropped.
Nah, I called it the Hector DLC because you care about Hector.
Oh, fair enough. I wasn't surprised to see Camilla. In fact, you even pretty much called Camilla a while ago.
Yeah. We've got the next wave is Crom, Robin, and Veronica from Heroes.
Well, it's not Crom Robin, it's Crom and Robin.
Crom, Robin, and Veronica.
No, I mean Crom and Robin are classed as one character.
Are they? Okay.
At least that's what the trailer made it look like.
Fair enough. Yeah, because the Three Houses trio are one unit or one character.
It's like the canon character that has that gimmick is what's her name? Erica.
Yeah.
Because she shares it with her brother.
Sure.
I think. Am I getting the character right? Elfrim's sister.
Yeah, Erica and Ephraim. The last thing that was revealed for the Fire Emblem DLC is the Fell Xenologue.
I will tell you this looks interesting.
It does. So it seems to be an actual side story, similar to how Ashen Wolves was a side story.
Oh no, it doesn't, my friend. I saw the trailer for it, and it doesn't look like a side story. It looks like an alternate story.
Yeah, fair enough.
It looks like it's going to start from the beginning. I don't know how many chapters they're going to give it, but it looks like it starts from the very beginning of the game, except instead of your divine ancestry, it's going to be some sort of way of you're actually a fell dragon, which I'm really worried might be a spoiler.
Yep.
Because I haven't finished that game yet, but, you know, considering the fell dragon is the big bad, we've already had one game where, oh, guess what, you're the fell dragon. It wouldn't surprise me if that was the twist again.
Yep. They're not shy about reusing twists.
No, they fucking ain't. Very quickly, Veronica's gimmick is insane.
I didn't actually take a peek at that. I was more focused on noting down notes, so enlighten me.
Well, Robin and Crom's gimmick is friendship, because, yeah, that was pretty much Awakening's deal. Veronica's gimmick is pretty unique in that, because she's from the Heroes game...
Where you can summon anyone.
Yeah, cool, so she can summon anyone.
Shit, nice.
She can summon an additional unit on the field. They used Roy as an example, which is even more insane because Roy is a cannon ring anyway.
Here's the thing. It would be pretty cool if you just summoned an emblem that you don't have, that you have but are not currently equipping, just as a person. That would be pretty neat.
That would be pretty neat. However, story reasons make that very unlikely.
Yeah, because like Sigurd even refers to the part that he knows he's dead.
I didn't get that bit in particular, but different story part. You'll know it when you get to it. But yeah, anyway, I'm tempted to go in on the Fire Emblem DLC at this point just for that Xenologue when it comes out. However, sunk cost fallacy means because I'm so far in the game already, it would be a very big waste to go in on the DLC now.
Yeah. Octopath Traveler 2 has a demo available now.
Yeah, you liked Octopath 1, didn't you?
I enjoyed the demo and then never played the real game.
Oh, okay.
I was a massive fan of the Bravely Default games. Octopath is like a more 2D Bravely game, so I don't know why I wasn't mad for it, but apparently it's essentially the same idea.
I'll tell you this, the game always looked interesting, I just never went in on it.
And then there's always Triangle Strategy, which is the same idea, but as a strategy RPG, which, again, it should make all of my neurons fire, but for some reason it didn't. Sea of Stars looks neat. It's a classic pixel RPG. The demo is out now.
Fair enough.
I'm going to give that a fair shake with the demo, I believe. So, and then we got Omega Strikers, which appears to be a free-to-play air hockey MOBA-like game.
That's a baffling decision.
Yep. Like, you got multiple people who are on the field as you would have in like a hockey game or whatever, and you can either attack the ball or the puck to, advance the air hockey, or it seems you can attack each other to disable their ability to attack the puck.
Very weird.
Etrian Odyssey is getting a collection or individual remaster. You can buy them separately, you can buy them all together. If you buy them all together, it's something like £72 on Steam.
Yeah, I think Izara linked that to me, actually, because I remember my mind getting blown.
And that's without the DLC.
Well, that's ludicrous.
Yeah, the DLC includes things like Joker, Teddy, the Persona 3 protagonist, whose name escapes me because I forget his canon name.
Makoto.
Yeah, and the protagonist from SMT 3 and 5.
Yeah, the Nocturne person, and I don't know their fucking canon names.
Yeah, the blue head fuck. So I also don't see the point in those characters because it's a first-person game.
Oh, okay. So unless they've got a cool gimmick or special attack type thing, it really is pointless.
Kirby has a remake of Return to Dreamland and also has a epilogue where you play as the villain. And there's a 4-player demo up right now.
Well, confession time, I've also never played a Kirby game. I never had Nintendo consoles as a kid, apart from the Game Boy, so...
Well, that's a good segue into the fact that the Game Boy is now added to Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah, okay, how long have we been bitching about this, Rick? About, hey, why don't they just put all the Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance games on the Switch? Because people will just buy a pack. And they're not even doing it as that. It's like, hey, do you buy Nintendo Switch Online? Here you go.
Yeah, just have a trickle feed of these. The things that are coming later are the more interesting ones. The Zelda Oracle of things, like Seasons and the Pokemon Trading Card game. They're coming later.
Okay, but my favourite Game Boy game, full goddamn stop, is Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins. And that's a debut title.
Yeah.
If you've not played the 6 Golden Coins, play it. It's fucking weird because apart from Koopa Troopers, the enemies aren't really, traditional. But it's a fun game. And it was my first Mario game.
Yeah, Mario Land is such a weird divergence from Mario, and yet it's really interesting in its own right. I think they've
this particular game also introduces Wario, so...
Yes, it does! And Wario Land 3 is also coming to the Game Boy Color side of this.
Yay!
Yeah. Game Boy Advance games are also coming, but that's only for the Switch Online Deluxe expansion pack. Metroid Prime!
Yeah, this was released released on as soon as the fucking Direct came out, right?
Yeah, Remastered 1 is on the eShop now, and it looks like they're doing the entire trilogy all at once. Well, not all at once, because one's already out and the other ones aren't. But yeah, looks neat. Seems like they're actually gearing up for Metroid Prime 4, which they seem to have been teasing and withdrawing for quite some time.
Because they're cowards.
Yes.
The balls on them to have a numbered title after so long.
Yep. Monster Detective Archives. This looks really fucking cool.
This isn't on my list.
Okay, so I believe it's made by the Danganronpa people, and in this
start.
you get to use the individual monster abilities of monsters that you interact with by copy, and you can use those abilities for your investigations.
Okay.
So Phoenix Wright with Monster Folk.
Sure.
And also, Danganronpa art style. It looks sick. I'm really looking forward to this game.
I don't know why they didn't put this on the on the Nintendo Life list. Unless it's called Natsumon.
Maybe because I was watching the Nintendo of America Direct, it might not have been on the Nintendo of Europe one.
But that makes no difference, Rick, does it? Surely.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they put things out of order, but yeah. Baten Kaitos is getting remasters of the first and second game. This is a deck building RPG from the GameCube days. It's
cool, so it can fuck off.
It's one of the few GameCube RPGs that I didn't play.
I don't like deck building RPGs. They are so boring. And alright, listen, it probably wasn't boring when this game originally came out, because this game was probably the first, if not one of the first, that did the gimmick. But there's so fucking many of them now, and they all suck.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I won't be giving you a fair shake, Button Katos.
Yeah, it's got a long-ass story, apparently good enough to make a sequel. People that liked it really liked it. I don't know anybody that played it and didn't like it, but I think the people that would have not liked it just didn't buy it to begin with.
That's fair.
Professor Layton and the New World of Steam.
Okay, the reason why this game is such a big deal is for some reason the subreddit for Professor Layton keeps popping up on my my suggested bullshit feed on Reddit, and they've been asking for a game for like 10 years now.
I think the last game they got was the Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright.
I believe it technically was, and everyone is like, that game is fucking hardcore, man. I fucking played that game. After you finish the first trial, it ends with someone getting burned alive because they're a witch, and Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright are both sort of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's one of those. In Phoenix Wright, you're pretty much always dealing with murders. They're not always that brutal, but then again, it's still a murder.
But in Phoenix Wright, you don't see the person who gets sentenced have their sentence enacted. In this game, you defend your client is successfully defended, but the way you defend your client is the way you always do it in Phoenix Wright, and that is you find the real culprit, or, in fucking quotation marks here, and you go, it was them, and this is why it was them instead, and they go, okay, so they're guilty, and then they kill them in front of you, in the courthouse. They set them on fire.
Man.
Rick, this game is a kid's game.
Man. Oh boy. The Mario Kart 8 New Booster Course expansion Wave 4 is coming, includes Birdo.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I didn't get the Mario Kart 8 DLC. I can understand why they did it this way, and fair enough, I'm sure there's some people who are really nostalgic for the tracks, but not me.
Yeah. Blank from Gearbox looks really nice. It's a black and white, predominantly white art style of blobby animals.
Do you want to just talk about Legend of Zelda and then move on?
Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. It was the last thing in the Nintendo Direct. Matt Mercer is Ganondorf. It seems to have a playable Zelda and some Skylands, and yeah, people are excited. It's also going to be the first $70 game in America for the Nintendo Switch, so it's a prime target for if you have one of those dual packs buy one game vouchers. And so yeah, I'm excited for this. I can't wait for it to come out. Other thing that happened in the news: Disney Plus has lost over 3 million subscribers in India and Southeast Asia after they lost cricket on the platform, and also it seems to coincide with initial sign up for 1 year expiring for a lot of people.
That does make sense though, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's their first major downturn, and yet they still had their 500,000 natural growth, so they lost just over 3 million and they've averaged at just under 3 million.
It's weird, isn't it? Because I don't know what their pricing is like in India, but the vast majority of Indian consumers are not wealthy.
No.
So it's no shocker that after the first year, after a really good deal, they're like, well, I'm not paying fucking 80 quid or the equivalent of 80 quid a year for this.
Yeah, well, it's the same here. Like, if you signed up early, you got a cheaper price, and that cheaper price stays until, they just do year-on-year price increases until it's the price that everyone pays. By the same token, there was very little to watch back then, including something we bitched about multiple times before, The Mandalorian releasing piecemeal rather than all in one chunk.
Yeah, which was done entirely to circumnavigate people using using their free month for Mandalorian, which is stupid. You know, you're going to get an extra month out of those people.
Yeah.
Well, except you're not, because what's going to happen is they're going to go, oh, right, Mandalorian's not all out. Well, it is over in America, which means yo-ho, fiddly-dee, off to the high seas of the interweb.
Yeah, and if people really wanted to be both a cheapskate and legit, they could just wait until it was all out and get their free month then.
Yeah, it was a baffling decision. Like, obviously, if it was all coming out week by week like they do now, universally, then yeah, fine, fair enough. No one's going to bitch about that. But I can't believe we're having this discussion again.
Dude, I forgot that Disney Plus was even launching in the UK until they showed it on Gogglebox.
That's a British thing as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you know this thing that we do for our channel? It's basically Gogglebox, but better.
Yeah, because you get the entire show, rather than just a snippet where somebody says one funny thing once, or half the time, not even funny. You just get to see their facial reaction as the one guy just looks sarcastically at someone else.
Oh, I think the best one is that gay couple from Brighton. One of them's moved on now, as in moved away from the show, not dead. Where one of them says, "Oh, everyone's likes a bad boy, don't they?" And the other one just goes, "Yeah, but not a fucking serial killer."
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best fucking lines in the show.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me and my week, apart from the fact that I am slowly assembling parts for my PC.
Because it's still exploded.
Yeah, it's still exploded. But yeah, that's about it from me. How about you? How has your week been?
First and foremost, I've started playing a game called Bleach Brave Souls.
Okay.
It's a mobile game, it's a gacha game, but it's free to play on the PlayStation 5. Well, 4, but I've got a 5. It's fine. I really like Bleach's art style. I really like Bleach's characters. I fucking hate Bleach the story.
Okay.
But hey, I'm going to probably be playing it for at least a week because that's when I get all my free goodies. And then when the endorphins no doubt fucking wear out, I'll just be like, cool, I'll shelve this forever.
Man, the one thing I remember about Bleach is something that was said as a joke also became to be true. There's loads and loads of characters. You also have their like hollow and form. And okay, the next prediction is swords are now characters, and then that came to pass.
That was a thing since the beginning, though.
Like, they treat the swords as if they were, sentient or whatever, but, like, it was only later on where they actually got, like, human forms.
Okay, yeah, but that was a filler arc for the show.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know how canon that is.
Sure.
It's like, I could be wrong, and it might have happened in the manga, but I saw designs of some of those swords in human form, and I gotta tell you, some of them are fucking woof.
Yeah.
But, it's weird. But yeah, that was always established because you meet Zangetsu in like episode 30 or something. Because the main character has a chat with his sword, and it's just an old guy. Well, not an old guy, a mature dude who looks badass because it's fucking Bleach. They have to.
Yeah.
It's also shonen as fuck because it's Bleach. It's shonen as fuck.
Yeah.
Alrighty, some non-video game news. Hey Rick, do you remember Stretch Armstrong?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Do you know what they're doing now?
Stretch Armstrong onesies.
No. It's a bunch of Star Wars characters, but they're Stretch Armstrong now. I just randomly saw an advert on TV, and it was just like, hey, get your Stretch buddies, and it's C-3PO and Chewbacca and Darth Vader, and it's literally just Stretch Armstrong, but with these different schemes on them, and it's like, well, I guess I'm glad that's still a thing.
Yeah, man, the only Stretch Armstrong thing I had was, they called it the Vac Pack. Stretch Armstrong had a villain called Vac Man, who a bunch of polystyrene balls in human form, but you could suck all the air out of him, and he would stay in the position that you put him in. They released some very cheap versions of these that were full of like wheat instead, and it was like £9 for one, but that was like money back then, considering the main one was like 35 quid. So I got one of these, and not long after he sprung a leak because he was basically a balloon full of wheat with a plastic head.
What do you mean full of wheat? Like fucking oats from Weetabix?
Yeah, like actual oats.
So what's stopping you from just making one yourself then?
The fact that it was, shaped like a person, and I guess the actual thing that was copyrighted was the mechanism for the valve on the head where you like suck the air out, make it posable.
That sounds like a really shit toy, Rick.
Toys weren't great back then.
Toys weren't that great when I was a kid either, but it sure as shit wasn't a fucking action figure made out of wheat that you could pose by vacuuming.
Yep. Man, sounds even worse when you say it.
I don't have the nostalgia goggles, so I can objectively say that your childhood was shit.
Yup.
Man, we're talking as if there's a massive age difference. There's like, what, 5 years, 6 years?
Yeah, I think like 6-7 years, yeah.
I fucking... Right, but anyway, that exists.
Yep.
All right, Rick. I suppose we need to talk about it because it came out. Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, yeah. All I've seen from this is some VTubers playing it and saying that the Harry Potter curses in really adorable broken English, or rather broken Latin.
Okay. Well, I've got a different aspect from this because I don't watch VTubers religiously like you do.
Sure. I'll take that one on the chin.
Well, you're the main reason I know they exist, Rick.
Sure.
But yeah, there's a lot of bullshit going on a meta scale, as it were, in people going, hey guys, it's just a video game. If you like Harry Potter, buy it and play it. And then there's the other half of the community that's going, yeah, but J.K. Rowling is directly profiting from this, so you shouldn't buy it and you shouldn't play it and you shouldn't like the things you like. And I've got no horse in this race because I think Harry Potter's shit anyway. But
Sure.
it's a very weird place to look at, even from a neutral perspective, because on one hand, a lot of people like Harry Potter, and I get it, I do. If you like something and it's been a core part of your interest since you were a kid, you're gonna want to play and use the fancy new thing. On the other hand, J.K. Rowling is a massive cunt.
Yeah, he's a poster girl for being a turf.
Oh, yeah. She actively stopped doing one of her charities because it might have benefited trans women, which, I don't know about you, Rick, is the most fucked up sentence I think one can say.
Yeah.
I stopped helping everyone because it might help this one subsection of people I don't like as well. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
But it's one of those classic things of vote with your wallet. If you don't want her to continue, she's probably not even getting that much money from it, but it's not the point. I think one of the issues that was raised was very specifically, what was it? If people see that anything with her name attached to it immediately bombs, she will stop getting contracts, or stop being asked for her properties to make stuff with. But yeah, I can't imagine what hell trans people who are really into Harry Potter must have went through at a certain point in their lives.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that, hey, if you're someone who cares about trans rights, you probably shouldn't be flinging money at this. But I'm also like, it's a video game. She probably doesn't get that much money from it. Like, she's probably already been paid.
Yeah. That tends to be how things work. Yeah, I think it's more of a Warner Brothers cash cow than a Rowling cash cow.
I don't know. For the game, certainly, but there's a lot of times where Rowling has straight up... Rowling's one of these Twitter people who I kind of hate because Twitter shows the worst sides of people, and she's always like, whenever someone tweets at her something about what she said and how she's a horrible person, she goes, that's okay, I'll cry myself to sleep while wiping my eyes with the money I make from Harry Potter.
Money she has already made from Harry Potter, from people who wish they could take it back.
If you care about trans rights, don't buy this game. If you don't care about trans rights, buy this game, I guess. The game doesn't even look that good. It graphically looks impressive, but, so I saw the UI, Rick, and they just took it from Destiny.
Yeah.
Which, if you're going to take anything from Destiny, the UI is not it. The user interface in that game is trash.
Yep. It's one of the things that they had to work around for a long time, and they were like, fuck it, we're making Destiny 2 instead. And even then...
But Destiny 2 doesn't even fix the UI.
They don't make a very much better UI, no.
No. Alright, Rick, in other news, do you remember Shinzo Abe?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, the former Prime Minister of Japan who got assassinated.
Yeah.
Something good has come of his death.
Okay.
A draft bill in Japan is currently being written, which would enable the children or spouse of a follower of a religious group to claim back some of a donation if it was made under conditions deemed problematic. The only reason this is becoming a thing is if you dig into the assassin of Shinzo, his family was part of one of the many cults that, Japan had a big issue with cults for a while, probably still does. I don't really look at that side of the culture. And one of them was endorsed by Shinzo Abe while he was Prime Minister, so people threw their money at this cult without thinking.
Sure.
And this man, who essentially had nothing, was like, cool, I'm going to kill a bitch. He wanted to kill the founders of the cult, but they're hiding in Korea, so the former Prime Minister seemed like an easier target. And he was, because he's dead as fuck. But yeah, silver lining is it looks like Japan's actually doing something to remedy this going forward and make sure it doesn't repeat itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those, cults are all scams anyway. There are protections against scams a lot of the time, but not always.
Not in Japan, there's not. Rick, the Godzilla fandom is in turmoil.
Yeah, you showed me this.
There is chaos brewing because of one simple thing. They are releasing a Godzilla statue from the Godzilla movie 1998, except they are calling calling it Zilla instead of Godzilla.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, this isn't that big of a deal because this version of Godzilla has always been called Zilla. This is what made Japan make a new Godzilla film in 2003, and there is a throwaway line where two Japanese fellows are talking and said, "Hey, wasn't there a Godzilla attack in 1998 over in the States?" And the other guy went, "No, that thing was too small and basically a pussy compared to Godzilla."
Yeah.
And I believe in Godzilla Final Wars, there's a Zilla that charges at Godzilla, and Godzilla just bats it away like it's nothing.
Yeah.
But there is a certain subsection of the fandom that only cares about the American Godzilla, and they are incredibly butthurt that this is not officially a Godzilla statue.
Weird.
Oh, it's so
well.
dumb. It's like if someone was a die-hard Mario fan, but the only Mario they had context of was the live-action movie.
Oh, man.
It's just like, no, fuck you. His name's Mario, and he's from Brooklyn, and it's an alternate dimension with a de-evolution ray. And you'd be like, what the fuck, bro?
And the Goombas are all pin-headed weird things.
And they like to dance and have a cuddle.
Yeah.
All right, Rick, time for the final story.
Okay.
Did you know that Toy Story 5 got announced?
Okay, so I saw this and I thought it was a gag.
Toy Story 5 has been announced. It's going to come out.
Alongside Zootopia 2
Yeah.
and something else 3, but I forget.
Frozen 3.
Frozen 3, there we are.
And, hey, by the way, the reason why they announced all three of these things in rapid succession is because they also fired 7,000 people.
Yeah, I saw this exact same thing and I thought it was a gag.
No, they literally were like, okay, we're going to fire a bunch of people because we're cunts.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the best way to make sure this doesn't make the news? I know!
Yeah, announced 3 other things alongside the announcement of firing 7,000 people. Except
a lot of news articles don't actually mention the firing of 7,000 people.
Yeah.
Which is rather depressing, isn't it?
Yeah, because a lot of news articles are bought and paid for by the PR machine.
But yeah, bad Disney. Also, fuck you, why is there a new Toy Story movie?
I can see it. Like, 3 was a good ending. 4 is an alternate and then ending. And then I wonder what they're going to do with 5.
I don't care. I've not watched Toy Story 4, and at this point, I refuse to.
Fair. Minor spoilers. There's now essentially 2 groups. There's a Woody group and a Buzz group.
Oh, cool. So there's fucking clan warfare going on.
Oh, not even. They're friends. They're just completely separate. Woody leaves the toys.
What do you mean he leaves? No, I don't want to know. It's like that fucking moment in Futurama where Zoidberg's house gets burnt down by Bender's cigar. And Hermes just goes, that just raises even more questions. But yeah, that does it for the news. But yeah, today we're watching Dinosaurs. It's an old school sitcom kind of thing. And yeah, take it away, Rick.
Man, this is so old. It's from my old house, is when I watched it. But yeah, Dinosaurs, available on Disney Plus. If you want to join along with us at home, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Yeah, this one's called, it's Series 1, Episode 1, The Mighty Megalosaurus, and we get a black and white picture of In Loving Memory of Jim Henson. Fuck, that's loud as fuck!
It is.
And I can't turn it down because the skip intro button's in the way.
Yeah, I've had to go onto Windows Sounds and lower the volume of Firefox.
That's fair. Man, I don't remember this intro at all. It's making it look a lot more intimidating than it actually is.
And that's the gag.
I like how these suits do make it actually look like it's difficult for these actors to move around.
Yeah. Doom, 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 doom.
So is this another instance of the Honeymooners but prehistoric?
Yeah. Yeah, almost exactly. It's the Flintstones in costume.
Yeah. Oh, fuck me, that's too real.
Yep. I mean, that goes on until the end of the series when it actually happens.
Well, yeah, but isn't it also like global warming and shit also happens?
Yeah, like he's working for like a I don't know if it is actually fossil fuels, but it is like a planet despoiling company.
Well, he's a logger.
Yeah. And they actually work towards the extinction of all life, and then it happens.
Hmm. I do know the the big joke with the baby is that it doesn't know the word dad, so it calls the dad, not the mama.
Yep. Yeah, I think the baby was like super marketed.
Oh yeah.
This came after the beginning of The Simpsons, but like
yeah, it would have done by a few years.
But it's so old that it feels like it came around the same time or before. But yeah, the Simpsons goes back a long time. So the whole point of like the three kids is like, well, at the time the average was 2.4 children, wasn't it?
Yeah, hence the name 2.4 Children for that one sitcom.
Yep. So they had 2 kids and a baby is the standard. Oh yeah, shopping channels.
Man, I'd shit you not, dude. That used to be a fun time when I was a kid. Putting the shopping channel on.
Yeah, and just watching these actors try to shill this like really shit product.
Except I didn't have anything as a kid, which means all of the stuff they showed was magical to me, and I was like, cool, I want it.
Yeah, it's like
capitalism is great.
It's like the Argos catalogue with actors.
Pretty much, man. As long as you watch the right channel and you weren't watching the fucking Jewel one.
Oh yeah. Those are like they're engineered.
Those are boring.
Yeah, the jewelry ones just engineered to extract money from old people.
These are some old school family values that no longer apply.
Yep. Charlene, I think, is angling for extra money, though. And it just so happens to be payday.
You don't need a TV that big.
You don't. However, that was a lot bigger back then than it is now.
I think my TV's 24-inch, and I think even that's big.
Sure. I remember, I had like a 24-inch CRT.
Oh, fucking hell, man. Those things were massive.
Oh, yeah. That was the one that used to be the downstairs TV. When we got a... You know, before flat screens were actually just LCD TVs?
Yeah.
And it was just a CRT with a flat screen. We had one of those.
Damn.
Yeah, we upgraded to that, and then we upgraded to an actual flat screen TV later. When we got the big flat CRT, I inherited the downstairs TV, and that's the one that I played most of my games on.
Okay, sorry, that's a really funny joke, though.
Sorry,
Did you just get it?
No, I missed it.
It was, how come we're in 6,000,003 BC and next year is how come we're in year 6,000,002 and, 3? Why is it next year we're in 6,000,002? Why are we counting backwards? I don't understand. But yeah, I was just, out of curiosity, I was just measuring my laptop screen because I've got a tape measure because I'm weird. It's a Games Workshop tape measure.
Yeah, it'll be, 15, 17 or 19 inches?
16.
16, okay.
So that's my laptop screen.
So that'll be a 15-inch laptop that's... It'll be either a 15-inch and you've measured over, or a 17-inch and you've been Jewed.
Well, you measure from corner to corner, right?
Yeah, typically it's the LCD area.
Yeah, well, if you want to get technical, it's 15. It's easier to do corner to corner proper.
Okay, it doesn't include the bezel, because the bezel can be as large as it wants.
Yeah, but it's 16 from corner to corner, so just doing screen, it's 15.
Sure, yes, 15-inch screen then.
Yeah, see, they're logging. This is the sacrifice you make when you decide to have a family. Your money is no longer your money. It's a simple fact. If you want your money to just be for you, you can't join a team.
Yeah. Well, my granddad always used to say, a penny tea cake costs tuppence when you're courting.
Yeah, because you want that pussy.
Yeah. Or knob, we're not judging.
Yeah, sure. You never get a raise at these places.
No.
That voice sounds very familiar. The guy in the T-Rex suit with the tiny arms.
Yeah, he sounds...
I love how he's holding a cigarette.
Yeah, and his arms are too short to get to his face.
But yeah, he sounds familiar, but I don't know why.
He sounds a bit like the one guy from Pixar that's in everything.
Oh, okay, John Hamm.
Yeah.
No, I call him Ham because he's the pig in Toy Story.
John Ratzenberger.
Yeah, that's the one. Fuck off! This is why you need a union. I'll tell you what, the fucking
the Mr. Richfield
facials on these puppets is great.
Yeah, the Mr. Richfield puppet I think is the best one in the game in the show.
So far. I'll give you an extra 50 cents an hour. This is why the term "eat the rich" exists.
Yep. Ooh. No dreams for you. Apologies for the lack of commentary.
I'm just depressed with how real this is.
Yeah.
Considering it's fucking talking dinosaurs in rubber costumes.
30 years later and still too real. Or rather, 65 million years later and still too real.
Get a fucking union.
I mean, this is back in the day where nearly every sitcom had "you're fired" as a constant thing for the dad.
Yep. The top half of the fridge is not closed properly.
No. Well, the fridge also has a gremlin in it, so...
True. Oh, how lovely. Oh, good old institutionalized sexism.
Yeah. He's always wrong.
I shat out an egg. Oh, Jesus Christ, I don't know why.
Ask me about my day. Yeah, egg.
That's probably one of the, it's one of the issues, right? Of being not a mammal. In that you can just drop a fucking egg.
Yeah, have an egg at any time. Well, here's the thing. If the egg isn't fertilized, then it's just an egg.
I assume he's banging her on the reg.
Yeah.
And considering that egg is indeed fertilized, we have to assume that is correct.
Yeah, it's doing a bit of a wiggle, ain't it?
He's meant to be 60? Oh, he's meant to be 40 something. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, he looks. It's one of those, like, when I was a kid, anyone older than me was either a parent age or a grandparent age. But even parent age was like old, so.
Well, it's weird, isn't it? Because I'm 30, you're closer to 40 than 30, right?
Yeah. By definition, yep.
And how weird is it that neither of us have kids, and you speak to someone who's like 22, which is nearly 10 years younger than yourself, over 10 years younger for you, and you're just like, oh, I've got a kid and a wife, and you're like, fucking, you're still a kid yourself, bro. How the fuck have you got this sort of life going on?
Man, when I remember...
How is it that well developed after it being shat out just today? Yeah, and by the way, I know that's not how eggs work, it's just funnier to word it that way.
Well, it comes from the cloaca, it might as well be the arsehole, because, it's shared.
Oh. Yeah, I know, but I'm actually checking that these dinosaurs do appear to be anatomically correct in that she does not have the breasticles.
Yeah, apparently instead of boobs they get adult tails.
What?
Charlene has an episode later on where she's considering wearing a prosthetic adult tail because her adult tail is the last one to come in her class.
Okay. Man, that sucks, doesn't it? Because, I guess the closest thing to boob length in a dude is dick length, but that never just hangs out.
Yeah, or the size of your nadges. It's something that you can't control, and, it's mystifying that people have a preference in the size of nadges.
I mean, it's weird when the dude who has their junk is like, man, I wish it was bigger, because, there's nothing you can do about that. I can understand why people who enjoy a dick in them have preferences, because, their parts are also in different places.
I mean,
there's not a magical spot. Like, some girls really like big dicks. Other girls are like, I don't like big dicks. They're painful.
Yeah. I mean, I can understand having kind of mild body dysmorphia and wanting your thing, whatever the thing you're fixated on, to be different to the way that it is.
Yeah, and if you want to do a proper segue, body dysmorphia for people who are trans is 10 times worse, so just think about that next time you're worrying.
Yep. Apparently, small dick energy is incredibly insulting to people who are intersex and are genetically predisposed to having, basically, small junk.
Well, it's one of those where I did see a discussion going on, we need an alternative saying, specifically because of this reason. But it's the only reason why it's called small dick energy is because
of the people who say that, yeah.
Well, it's because people who say they have big dick energy, it's the worst thing you can say to them, because they all clam up and go, oh, I'm going to fight you now.
Yeah, but I think big dick energy is something that you kind of... you enjoy feeling, and you feel it for a small amount of time, and then it goes away.
But what I'm specifically saying is those people who claim that they've got big dick energy, like the Andrew Tates of the universe, are universally assholes.
Yep.
So saying they have small dick energy is the best foil, because it's a very minimal effort to say, and it doesn't matter if it's true or not. It winds up the person infinitely.
Yeah, I mean, big dick energy... Well, small dick energy is basically big truck energy, isn't it?
I don't know, man. I assume that I'm a neutral on the scale of dick size energy. I don't claim to have big dick energy, but I also don't think I exude little dick energy. And at the same time, I don't really care.
You've got comfy, apathetic knob energy.
That's a bit of a mouthful. Well, hey!
Indeed.
Look, we're doing 4 again. Bro, this is fucked up. I don't know how you can eat something that can have a conversation with you.
Especially when he's basically just requested to be eaten.
I've never been too tired to eat, but boy, have I been too tired to cook before.
Oh, definitely. I actually have been too tired to get up and eat something that is already there for me.
That's fucking a low point, bro.
Yeah, typically it's when I'm really ill. Too ill to get up.
See, that's not being too tired, that's being too ill. There's a difference.
I mean, when I'm ill, I get tired.
But you know what I mean? It's more of a symptom from the illness rather than being tired. I mean, when I say tired, I mean straight up exhaustion.
Sure. Yeah, but I'm in one of those cases where tiredness is just a symptom of illness anyway, so...
Man, I like how everything has got this little mist going on. Like, even when they're inside the house, there's that mist.
Yeah, to show that it's in the past.
Hippos didn't exist at the same time as dinosaurs. Fuck off.
No. Hey! Karma.
That's a really horrible looking creature.
Mm.
Is that meant to be a subtle reference to, hey, treat everyone with respect no matter what, they might be your boss one day?
Yeah. Yeah, apparently Mr. Richfield, despite being a Triceratops, has ascended to carnivorism.
How so?
I mean, they're meant to be herbivores, but to assert dominance, he has become a carnivore.
Where did they show him eating meat?
Not in this episode, but I looked into the lore of the series.
Fuck me, you did a dinosaurs deep dive.
More of a shallow dip.
The one thing that's weird with the baby is the son and the daughter both look like the mum and the dad, but the baby don't look like either of them.
Nah, the baby just looks like a baby.
It's fucking hideous as well. Like, that's a dead baby. How weird would it be?
Yeah.
Rick, how weird would it be if you were in the hospital with your wife, she gave birth, and the first thing the baby did when it came out was like, whoa, it's stuffy in there! Oh god, you'd be like, kill it now!
Man, all I can think of is like when they do, like a comedian doing, oh, hey, what you... Oh, hey, mind those scissors, cut the right cord.
I do remember wanting to punt this little fucker when I was a kid.
Oh,
Is that the only time he ever calls him Dad?
I think so.
Sadly, this child never makes it out of babyhood because of the horror.
Yup.
That is historically inaccurate, sir. However, it is very funny. The birth of metalheads.
Hula hoops, yeah. That'll never catch on.
Dude, literally one of the best things that happened to us evolution-wise was the ability to throw a rock accurately.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs by Jim Henson's Creature Shop. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Is this going to work? Because Disney Plus is notorious for this. It didn't work. Fuck. Oh, no, it did work. I'm just a second behind. Fine. Baby Sinclair.
Ditto. I went to keep the credits, and it paused it, and I had to restart it.
Oh, yeah. Boy, don't you miss it when credits were short?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we get it all the time with these re-released old shows where you just get the regular credits and then like a couple of seconds of subtitle credits.
Yeah. Man, and I remember that old fucking Walt Disney fucking logo.
Yeah.
Damn. Haven't used that in a while, have they?
No.
Oh, shit. These are old school fucking... Oh, never mind. The Spanish dub had its own little title card that would have been existed back in the day, but the rest of the dubs are the new shit. But yeah, that was the very first episode of Dinosaurs. Blast from the past for both of us, I assume.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Well, like you say, it was a blast from the past. It got a little bit real with what it covered, but like sometimes that's real uncomfortable. This time it was both uncomfortable and relatable in a fun way, I think. So yeah, like I'm not about to go and binge the rest of the series, but it did bring back a lot of flooding memories. How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, it was good. It hasn't aged poorly, apart from the obvious of the family dynamic being fucked up, but it was the 90s. That was the family dynamic in the 90s. The man was the breadwinner, and everyone else is subservient to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone knows I think fucking stereotypical gender roles are bullshit, but yeah, it was fun. I've got to give big props to fucking Henson and the suit department in general, because honestly, it aged very well.
Yes.
But yeah, let's get to our usual wind down, I suppose. Rick, do you have a favourite moment?
My favourite moment is, I'm going to say, the establishing shot of Mr. Richfield, this enormous antagonist for the entire series, just boxed into a little annex. He takes up all the space and the entire shot, and I think it's just fantastic cinematography.
It's also very stereotypical of the dickhead foreman in any sitcom.
Yeah.
Like, big, large, intimidating figure, could probably do the work pretty well, but chooses not to because he's in charge, so fuck the grunts.
Yeah, totally. But how about you? What was your favourite moment?
It's hard to say, really. I guess my favourite moment was the fucking dinosaur, the T-Rex, holding a cigarette in one hand, because it's so working class, and it's just made funnier by the fact it's a T-Rex, so clearly can't fucking smoke it.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. But yeah, we can't only talk about the good, we've also got to talk about the bad, so with that in mind, Rick, do you have a weakest link?
The 1950s mentality brought into the 90s. Like, I'm pretty sure they realised that this wasn't going to fly in the future already by that point, and they were just treating it as something that was already prehistoric.
I don't know about that, dude. We're in 2023, and people still think like this.
Yeah, people who want to return to the Stone Age. Like,
I haven't watched a sitcom in a while, but a lot of I guess Family Guy isn't recent, but it started in 2000-ish or just before, and even that had the man is breadwinner, everyone else is under him.
Yeah, but Family Guy evolved pretty quickly to the man is also a loser.
Well, he's legally retarded.
Yeah, and he basically either can't hold down a job or tries job hopping too often and fails. Like, early on, they showed the consequences of failure, but nowadays they don't give a fuck. But yeah, how about you? What was your weakest link?
My weakest link was, it's pretty much the exact same as yours, to be honest, in that it works for the sitcom. It really does.
Yes.
This old school family dynamic. However, it is incredibly outdated.
Yeah.
And it's also a very stereotypical plot at the beginning. Now, bear in mind, it was a flashback, this entire episode, more or less, where he went into the house and he's like, I just got home from a long day's work. Where the fuck is my dinner? Because that's all women are good for.
Yeah, it got really uncomfortable when he started talking about, I do not give a fuck about your day.
Yeah, and the revelation she so desperately wanted was, oh, by the way, new kid.
Yeah.
I get it, alright? Listen, I do get it from a certain point of view back when we did have this mentality. I understand the logic of, I've had a long, busy day, I want to get home and I want to relax. Fuck's sake, I work a job. That's all you want to do when you get home from your job is relax and have you time. You are in a family. You have a family. You're meant to like your wife.
Yeah,
or your husband. Yeah. I don't judge. I don't care. If you can't take 2 seconds to socialise, why the fuck are you in a relationship? If you both want the same thing, and that is one of you works, one of you does domestic shit, that's fine. But everyone's got to know that's the deal. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. Even that might be fucked up. I don't know. That's just the way I look at it.
But, you know, these days, pretty much both partners have to work to be able to afford a home.
But yeah, basically, weakest link is that dynamic's fucked up. And it didn't age well. Rick, let's move on before we dig a grave. MVP.
I'm going to give it to Jim Henson and Jim Henson Productions. The puppets and the puppetry were absolutely top-notch. I think these might be the best puppets that I remember them making.
What do you mean?
Like, compared to the Muppets, which are obviously very simple, these are, like, leagues above Muppet quality of puppet.
Almost. There is one puppet known as Sweetums, and he is awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm giving it to Jim Henson Productions, the puppetry department. How about you? Who is your MVP?
It irks me a little bit because I think every single person of the acting cast that appeared did a wonderful job. However, I don't think you could go back and watch this if it was just people. So yeah, you're right. It's Jim Henson and his company.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Could you imagine going back to watch The Honeymooners? Because I sure as fuck can't.
No.
Because this has its own distinct style on top of the fact that it's actually got some decent jokes in there. Yeah, it's basically immune from being timeless. Wait, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got it's immune to aging poorly. Apart from
there you go.
The things that are well, that's basically what timeless means, isn't it? It's just it's got the perma timeless stamp, the seal of approval.
Yeah, and it even helps the fact that everything's just a little bit shitty on purpose, like the constant smoke and mist effects.
Yeah,
it's like how we said back in the day when we were talking about old school cartoons, the shittier art styles actually age a bit better.
Yes. The simpler the art style, the better it ages. Like World of Warcraft was cartoony back in the day, and it was launched about the same year as Oblivion, and the cartoony thing aged better.
Oh yeah, God, Oblivion's not a nightmare, but hard to go back to.
Yeah, good old Bethesda face.
Ooh. But yeah, on that pleasant note, that's the end of our episode for today. Join us next week for, well, more stuff. We don't even know what we're doing. We're running wild with cowboy shit. So yeah. Oh shit. Comment section down below on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, you can instead send an email.
Yeah, the email goes to nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
But yeah, toodles guys.
Bye.